Alrighty, managers on eFootball 2022 Dream Team are super important. Let's talk about it why. Obviously, you go to contract and you go to managers. Now, there are different prices. You can filter them by. Um, there are 5 preset tactics. You can customize your compactness, etc. All these tactical links we have, they're all presets. I have a specific video talking about these tactics as well. This one is mainly focusing on the importance of managers. What do they do to your team? How much impact they have when you build a team? And the other filter, obviously, you can go with region if it's a particular manager. And the important part, if you get a manager with stars affinity, it will give EXP, experience point bonus, to your superstars. If you choose forward, it will give it to your strikers. If you choose midfield, it will give it to your midfielders. If you get defenders, to defenders, and so on. Young players usually under 24. Veterans players, I believe, is under over 29, I think. So each manager has different affinities, and we're going to talk about it, how to manage it overall. Now remember, managers are in the game. You have the freedom to change your formation to whatever you like. You can change your tactics to those five preset tactics. However, let's say you sign Klopp. His highest proficiency is actually counterattack. So quick counter, that's his speciality. If you sign, let's say, Jurgen Klopp, then you have to, let's say you sign a player who's mainly plays position game. Then you have to train him with counter. Each manager has one tactic with the highest proficiency. Some of them has 2 more tactics around 70, which can be useful. Pep Guardiola's position, and so on. And each manager has different affinity. Like Klopp is coaching affinity is star players, as we spoke about it. You have Valbuena is defensive players. The idea is you don't need several managers. I'll give you an example. I have 3 different managers for one reason. Because I wanna take advantage of the bonus experience points. So me having 3 different managers only because each manager I sign, they have different affinities. Allegri, star players. Gasparini, forwards, strikers. And you have Deschamps, that is midfield players. Your default manager doesn't have a coaching affinity, doesn't have anything, and every tactic is basically 50. Now, the idea is, guys, to make your main 18 players to be able to play at least 2 different tactics. If your main is counter, maybe a backup to manage the game long ball. Now, remember, when you choose long ball, it's not just about long ball and left and right. Because they are preset tactics, counter attack when you lose the ball, you instantly press high. Each tactic you choose has a difference transition between attack and defense on and off the ball. So Dream Team in a way is simple. You sign a coach, you find players who are tactically fit with your coach, otherwise you'll train them. And then you kind of level up your players in a way that you make sure you're not going to make your players maxed out before you make them tactically fit. I'll give you an example. When you go to tactic, as I said, you can change it to formation to whatever you like. It's not going to affect anything. You can even change position of players within reason, within limitation. Team play style, again, you have 5. Right now, I am training most of my players to play the second tactic, which is out wide. For instance, my players are not trained to play position. So when I switch to position, my team playing style level, which is chemistry, dropped to 76. Counter is my main. Long ball, not so good. Out wide is the one I'm training with. After minute 80 or 75, if I want to be more compact in the midfield and play out wide under pressure while I'm leading, I switch to this one. And again, in the next video, we'll cover tactic because it's important to how to set up your instructions as well. I just posted about the quick tip on Twitter about certain instructions. That was just I do kind of text only kind of tips as well on Twitter, on Discord. But that'll be a separate video talking about the playing style instructions. It will help out. And obviously your sub tactic, you can only turn this on if you train your team with a different tactic in a way. There's no point in having a sub tactic if it's the exact same tactic, unless you have a different formation. That could be on as well. But obviously you can set up different instructions. During the game, you hold your D-pad up or down. You switch between your main and your defensive. If you turn this off, that's my main. If I turn this on, that's my defense. You can see it's shaped up a bit differently. So basically, your coach is important. There is a new feature in the game that your manager and your players have a new attribute. It's called team playing style proficiency. Your players has to be tactically fit with the manager's best tactical proficiency. Some of the words in this game, dude. And again, a lot of people get confused. If I press triangle here, if I press square here, sorry, let's say Sol Campbell, he's 89 rated. That 95 is his proficiency with my manager for counterattack. You can see some of the players are already 99, some of them aren't. But I'm pretty sure we changed our tactic to out wide. So let's go back to counter, that's my main. Now you can see most of my players are pretty much tactically fit. Probably when I make Renato 99, or at least make Beckenbauer 95, then I will have 100 chemistry. I would say Pavard actually. If I get Pavard above, like, you don't need to have every single player 99 in a way. Now, obviously, to change your manager is pretty simple. You go to tactic, change your manager, change it to whoever you like. For instance, once all my team is tactically fit with the counter attack, I might this time try Deschamps and make them. The thing is, what I don't like, you don't raise your chemistry by playing games. You raise your chemistry by training your players and give them, after you train the player, you have progression points. And you divide that progression point between leveling up individual player abilities and give them tactical proficiency to play a different tactic or your main tactic, whatever that may be. Again, player training in the next video. To release a manager, make sure the manager you want to release is not active in your squad. Like right now, I can't release Allegri because he's active. If I want to release Allegri, I have to select Deschamps. That way I can release Allegri. And I have them locked. Obviously, you have to unlock them as well. So the higher the manager's price on the market, the less time it takes for you to train your players to adapt tactically in a way. Like for instance, if I have Klopp, he's got 87 in one particular proficiency, which is quick counter. It will take less experience points and progression level points to make all my players to be able to play counter. You may get some players in the pack who already play counter attack. Each player has that as well. Remember, team play style proficiency is an attribute that managers and players have. And when they have both the same, you raise your chemistry. As simple as that. If I get a cheap manager, let's say, you know, this guy who's worth like 10,000 GP, as you can see, his best proficiency, highest proficiency is out wide. And a 70 probably will take more experience point to make my players adapt to that particular tactic. Usually you want to look for managers who, apart from their main proficiency, they have at least 2 more tactical proficiency around 70. And some of these managers do. For example, if you look at, let's see, Nilsman. Nope, not that one. I'm pretty sure as a PSG manager. I believe his PSG manager has that, which can be very, very handy. Now his main tactic is actually quick counter, but out wide in position is around 70. Some of the managers has that, which is kind of a bonus, because ideally is you want to make sure your main 18 players to be able to play at least, to adapt to at least to 2 different tactics. One offensive, one defensive. So, in a way, your managers are important to train your players and to adapt your players to different tactics. And obviously, they give you a bonus with their affinity to gain 100% to 300% more experience points when you play. If you have any question, comment down below. Remember, the next video, we're going to cover the 5 different preset tactics, instructions, which is kind of important. And then after that, we're going to go through different formations, what kind of instructions to use, and so on. You guys know what kind of content I do. I think in the past couple of years, I've been a bit low in terms of uploading. I try my best. Till next time.